Oh yeah, Amazon and Hertz have come together to form Voltron to take over the car industry, specifically the used car industry. Let's check it out.
About a quarter century ago, Amazon said it wanted to sell anything and everything a person would want to buy online. Since then, revenues have grown 38,000%.
38,000?
Every time it sells a new product, even veteran rivals fear getting Amazoned.
I would never bet against Amazon. They effectively have unlimited resources.
Up until recently, one of the very few areas Amazon wasn't disrupting, cars. But now it is making moves. The latest deal is to help sell used cars owned by the rental company Hertz. It could be a boon for Hertz. Shares popped on the news. It could also help Amazon build up what is still a fleggling business. One loser could be dealers.
When you get a giant like Amazon retailing, the largest supply of used cars in the nation, coming from the large rental companies, it can scale and escalate very, very quickly.
You ain't lying. This is looking like one of those super deals, something like a super team. This could work out good for them, and then again, it may not work out good for them because, as you know, when it comes to used cars, I would never buy a used car online, sight unseen, because it's a used car. Now, a new car, I could see myself buying a new car, sight unseen, but a used car, especially a used car that's getting a lot of mileage put on it, being that it's from a fleet, it's like a fleet car from Hertz. That's a rental car. That means it's got a lot of miles on it probably, and it's probably been beat to shambles. Ain't no telling what that car been through. So I myself wouldn't really, I don't think it's gonna work out like they think it's gonna work out, because most people, when they buy used cars, they want to see it. They want to test drive it. They want to see how it runs. They want to sit and they just want to they want to get their hands on it. It's not like a new car. See, a new car is a new car. It's a new car. It's probably no problems with it. It's brand new. But a used car is just different. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But let's continue.
Hertz has had its share of struggles over the last several years. It filed for bankruptcy in 2020 as rental car demand crashed in the early months of the coronavirus pandemic. It relisted in 2021. Shares fell nearly 10% on the first day.
I should have bought these.
Management said in 2024 it was undertaking a critical transformation. Activist investor Bill Ackman took a stake in the company in April 2025, saying it was undervalued. Shares soared.
A 4.1% position in Hertz as of December 31st. That news sending shares sharply higher in the session, as you see. I'm told from a person familiar that the stake is actually much, much higher than that.
Q2 2025, the company said, was its best quarter in 2 years.
Gil West, the CEO, would say, hey, important progress made over the past year and a half, since he's been there, but much more work to be done. They still need to get more efficient on direct operating costs, but reselling and lowering their fleet costs is also part of that.
In 2023, Amazon said it was getting into the auto retail business. First came a partnership with Hyundai, which has since expanded. The e-commerce giant so far is keeping no inventory and is not actually selling the cars itself. It's a showroom with many of the usual Amazon shopping features. Buyers can fill out paperwork and secure financing, pretty much do everything except take delivery of the actual car.
Well, this ain't like really nothing like super new, because as you know, if you got a Costco membership, you know you can buy a car from Costco. Yeah, I said it. You can buy a car from Costco. You can go right into Costco and shop a car. Well, you do what you would do is shop online, but you can buy a car from Costco. So that's not really something like that's groundbreaking. And also you got Carvana too. But these guys are trying to sell used cars, man. I just don't see how that's gonna work out, being that the cars are used. I don't think the dealerships got too much to worry about. But then again, let's see what they're talking about.
Amazon is really a listing service on steroids for dealers. That's the play.
The real money for Amazon, banks said, is in digital advertising, which made $56.2 billion for the company in 2024.
I see what they're saying. They don't really care about selling the cars. They just want basically Hertz to advertise they want Hertz to pay them to advertise their car, which that's basically what Hertz is doing. It's like a Car Guru, Auto Trader, something like that. So basically it seems like they're trying to be something like that, but but just do it for basically Hertz. pretty much. I'm assuming that Hertz probably gave him a lot of money to do this. I'm not for sure, but we're going to find out.
He clearly set that up as a strategy to go after Google and Meta. It's high margin. I think what Amazon is trying to do is capture as much data as possible on the consumer. So then they can target or provide the consumer with much more targeted advertising.
Stopping it, but basically what they're trying to do is be like TikTok. You know how TikTok always trying to figure out some kind of way to sell something to you, and they want to be able to sell the hottest products, basically whatever's hot. So basically with these cars, they're gonna try to figure out what's the hottest cars, and they probably gonna try to basically them gonna be the cars that they're gonna force feed you, probably keep them showing those cars, and they just basically trying to figure out what's hot, what the customers like, what's the best used type of cars to sell for Hertz. That way Hertz will know pretty much what kind of cars to buy and end up flipping. That's my opinion.
About 560,000 vehicles in its fleet. Rental companies sell these cars off after about 18 to 20 months of renting them out, although Hertz said that as of September 2025, 80% of its fleet was less than a year old.
They resell a couple 100,000 cars every year just in the U.S.
100,000?
And, we're talking about several $1 billion worth of inventory.
There are several ways a rental company sells off a fleet.
I didn't know Hertz was doing it like that.
Some cars go into auctions where dealers buy them up. Less than 10% in Hertz's case, but around 15 to 20% for the rest of the industry. Some cars are sold directly to dealers. Hertz sells much of its fleet directly to consumers. It lists cars on its own website, sells online through used car seller Carvana, and lists on sites like AutoTrader and Cars.com. The company has 45 sales locations in the U.S. alone. It also has a rent-to-buy program.
A rent-to-buy program? I never. A lot of this stuff, I did not know Hertz sold straight to the consumer. I did not know that. I thought they just sold their cars to dealerships for like a cheap price, and then they made a little money off the cars. I didn't know they went straight to consumer. Like they say they sell to Carvana, AutoTrader, Car.com, and Hertz. I didn't know that, and I definitely didn't know they had a rent-to-own deal. I never even heard of rent-to-own car deal. Have you? I never heard that. I heard of that.
Then Amazon declined CNBC's request for an interview. John Pasamato is a former Chrysler Plymouth dealer and an auto industry entrepreneur. In an open letter to the head of the National Automobile Dealers Association, Pasamato said this partnership poses a threat to dealers.
I doubt it.
Back 30 years ago, when it became very obvious that the larger rental companies were setting up retailing stores right near dealers and putting through used cars.
I did have noticed that.
And they were selling cars cheaper than dealers could because they're acquiring them way cheaper than dealers can.
Rental car companies buy vehicles from automakers in large quantities. They get discounts. Pasamato himself was a fleet dealer. These aren't just bulk discounts, Pasamato said. There is a kind of discount called the stair-step incentive.
It's not talked about a lot. It's under confidentiality.
Never heard of it.
But everybody knows they exist.
Basically, the more you buy, the bigger your discount on each vehicle. Let's say you buy 1,000. You might get 500 back a unit. Buy 5,000, you get 2,000 back. Ooh. The idea is that these large fleet purchases help automakers keep production relatively consistent from year to year, and the vehicles historically would end up in the hands of dealers anyway.
I did not know car manufacturers sold that many cars to rental car companies. I did not know that. I never knew that they sold that many cars from the factory to these Hertz, like Hertz and Enterprise. I ain't know they was doing it like that. Honestly, let's continue.
Through wholesale used car auctions or through direct sales.
What I see with the Hertz Amazon situation is what happened 30 years ago, but sort of on steroids, right? Now you can sell cars digitally. Now there's a web. Now you have Amazon, the biggest merchandiser retailer in the country.
They are the biggest.
The second threat is competition for cars. Here's a breakdown of where dealers got used vehicles in 2024.
It says 1% comes from other dealers get their cars from others. Would probably be like they find it on their own, something like that. Auction purchases is 19%. Street purchases 9%. Trade-in vehicles, used vehicles 23%. Trade-in new vehicles. How you trade in a new vehicle? I don't understand these. How do you trade in a new vehicle? Well, I guess it's probably like dealership to dealership, something like that. You got something that I got, and I got something you got. We can just trade. That's probably what that means, but I never knew that.
About 20% came from auctions. Steve Greenfield estimates there are about 300 auction companies in the United States. The biggest are Mannheim, Odessa, and ACV. Carvana bought Odessa's physical U.S. auction locations in 2022. Mannheim, the biggest, is privately owned by Cox Enterprises, but it says it facilitates the sale of about 7 million vehicles per year, representing about $50 billion in value and $2.6 billion in revenue. When auction company ACV went public in 2021, it estimated about 22 million used vehicles were sold through the wholesale channel on an annual basis, generating about $230 billion in sales. At the time, ACV estimated its total addressable market was worth about $10.7 billion.
What?
Rental companies make up about 5% of the cars going into the auction market. The others are dealers, off-lease cars, repossessions, and other fleet vehicles. By going directly to consumers, Hertz can sell its cars for retail prices rather than a lower wholesale price and can avoid whatever other fees and friction that might come with offloading the vehicle to an auctioneer.
It is going to potentially put pressure on auctions if other commercial sellers like Hertz start bypassing them and selling through these channels that allow them to achieve retail pricing.
That in turn means there are fewer cars going through auction, where again, dealers buy 20% of their used car stock. The concern is that potentially anyone that would feed cars into auctions or sell directly to dealers could bypass those channels entirely and simply sell directly to the consumer.
So if I'm a dealer and I used to buy 30 cars a week from Hertz, and I find that my consumers who are buying cars retail off my lot love these Hertz cars, and those dry up, to your point, it's like it just really constrains supply overall.
No, I don't agree with that. Even though Hertz got a lot of cars, they don't got that many cars. They not supplying like the whole industry of car. They not doing that. I don't think it's gonna affect them like that. I still think they're gonna be selling to dealers a little bit. Dealers gonna get their hands on some of these cars. I think it's gonna probably be a good deal, but I don't think it's gonna be like a crazy deal that's gonna take away dealerships. I don't think that's gonna happen. Now, most of these companies, as you know, they do not want to sell to dealerships. They trying to get rid of dealerships. Like, Tesla, they don't like to sell to this. They don't want to do no dealerships. You can buy your Tesla straight offline. You never going to no dealership, maybe to the delivery, but other than that, it ain't no like Tesla dealerships like that. There's no Tesla dealerships. Rivian, they don't got no dealerships like that. So I think that these companies, big companies, they do want to get rid of the factories like Ford, Stellantis, all them really kind of want to get rid of the dealerships and sell straight to the consumer, because you cut the middleman out, and that does help the customer too. I know you're like, man, what about the dealership? It helps the customer because you get rid of all that middle, like delivery fees, all them unnecessary fees they be tacking on and pushing to you. You'll get rid of all those fees, and the cars probably be much cheaper if they went that way. But who am I? I'm just a peon.
The impact on car dealers, I think, is negligible when you do the math. With Hertz, when they were going bankrupt, when they were going through bankruptcy, there was a lot of commentary about an angst, so to speak, of they're going to offload 500,000 units. That's going to crater the used car industry. It's going to crater prices.
But Banks said if you spread Hertz's fleet across the entire landscape of new and used dealerships out there, it works out to just 1 or 2 cars per dealership.
It's one vehicle per dealer, essentially. And if you're just counting new car dealers,
one car per dealer.
2.3. I mean,
it's not a lot.
I don't think that's a big issue.
Hertz isn't cutting anybody off. This is just another avenue for them to possibly reach customers they wouldn't have.
Pasamato said that yes, Hertz's inventory might be 500,000 cars, but the total rental fleet is about 2.5 million. About 19% of the 12.8 million used cars sold through franchise dealerships. If this plan with Hertz goes well, Amazon could start offering the same deal to other rental companies.
Now that could be a problem. Now, they offer the deal to Enterprise and Riders and all them other rental companies. Now, that could be a problem for dealers. Now, that could dig into things that now you're taking away 5 or 6 cars per dealership. Now, that could affect those dealers. That could have, if they did offer that deal to everybody. Hey, I still don't think it's gonna stop dealerships though. Because I just don't see this like it may put a little dent, but it ain't gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like a major dent. Because like I said, when you buying a used car, you want to get in that car, drive it, test it, and make sure you ain't buying no bucket, no piece of garbage, some trash, albatross. Don't nobody want to buy a used car online, and then when it get delivered to you, it don't look nothing like you thought it looked in the pictures. It's all scratched up. The interior beat the crap. They only took pictures of the good side of the car. The right side look a mess. The left side look great. You know, the rims all scratched up. They only took a picture of one wheel. You know how they be doing on these websites. They got the 3D picture. It look like a brand new car, but all along when you get the car to you, Carvana, you get the car to you, it don't look nothing like you said it looked. So you got to send the car back. So I don't think it's going to be hurting dealerships like that. I just don't see it. I think it may hurt them a teeny bit, but not to the point where it's going to be really digging into their profit and it's going to be a lot of dealerships closing down. I just don't see that. Only things, what's messing up dealerships now is that they overcharge. They put a lot of markups on it, dumb markups and stuff like that. And when you really look at car dealerships, they don't make, most of their money is made in when they fix your cars in parts departments like that, like when you buy parts from them or when they fix your cars and stuff like that. It's not really off of the car. They make good money off cars, but the bulk of their money is made when you bring that new car that you bought back for oil changes, maintenance, and checkup, and you do that for the life of the car. That's where they get their money at. It's not what they don't really get their money from. Used cars, they probably make about $1,000 to $2,000 off of a used car. They don't make no ton of, well, some dealerships do with these markups and these crazy prices, but they don't make no super ton of money. They get their money in when you bring your car for maintenance or oil change, like I said, just regular stuff. And when you buy parts and going in there just buying stuff for the car, that's where they get their money at. And then when you go to the finance company, the finance part of the deal, and they offer you like a warranty and stuff like that, that's where they make their money at. When they sell you the car for this interest rate, that's why I always tell people, don't go to the dealer, don't really go through the dealer for your car loan. Go to your bank or your federal credit union, then get your car loan from them, get it approved from them, and then go get your car. Because when you go to the dealership, they get a percentage of you. Just say the dealership say, we're gonna give you 5% interest. You really could get it. They probably really get you a 3%, but they added on 2%, so they can get that 2% from you every month. If you know what I'm saying, they get incentives to do that. So that's where they make their money at. So don't think that, oh man, these Amazon about to crush them. I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it because people like to touch their cars. It's like I said, a new car, you don't really got to worry about that because it's new. But a used car, you have to worry about things like that. Because I buy used cars myself. Most of my cars is used. I never bought a brand spanking new car. All the cars I buy is used. They really low miles, under like 10,000 miles. But well, I ain't gonna say that because I just bought a Durango Hellcat. It had 15,000 miles on it. But like I'm saying, I had to test drive that car. I had to touch that car, see that car before I say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger. And that's what I don't think Hertz is gonna do too much damage, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Let's continue.
Age, so that things like this can pilot and then go to scale extremely quickly. So everyone should watch as opposed to wake up one morning and find out that, hey, you remember that lucrative used car business we had for 1 and 2 year old used units? Well, they're gone.
The other reason to manage expectations, this isn't how Amazon usually does retail.
Ultimately, what's given them heartburn consistently is the fact that with any other product category, they can control the unpacking experience. With automotive retail, it's totally different, right? That last mile is fulfilled at a dealership where they have almost zero visibility and zero control of the unpacking experience.
Fact, you want to know what the car
Still,
is doing.
this is suggesting that the older ways of doing business are under pressure.
The greater story there is
dealerships gonna have to step up.
This battle of inventory, certainly used vehicle inventory that's going on between car dealers, and they're competing with each other, obviously. And then you've got the new player.
Scammerships is what I call it.
CarMax, which is an old player, but still new to this game of customer acquisition.
Dealers are adapting. Nearly 3/4 of cars come from vehicle trade-ins.
The auction has become a pretty costly channel for the average dealer. So they'd much rather buy a trade-in from a consumer
They ain't
than
giving
have to
you
go to
nothing
the
for it.
auction and compete with other dealers for
Lowballing.
cars.
They're even buying some of them, nearly 10%, off the street. They've been doing this for a while, but the practice exploded during the pandemic when there were few cars available, new or
Yeah, during the pandemic, I sold my I had a Scat Pack, 392 Daytona Scat Pack. They the same thing. I don't care why people say, oh man, a Scat Pack and a Daytona is totally different. 392. They the same thing. I think I made like $7-8 grand on that, about seven grand on that car. And I bought it for like 30. When I bought it brand new, I was like, I ain't gonna say brand new, it was real low miles. I bought it for like 35. I sold it for like 40 something. I sold it like $43,000, and it had 20-some thousand miles on it when I sold it. But I made a good chunk of change during the pandemic. Man, pandemic was good. We was getting free money too. Can we get those days back minus the pandemic?
to the public. Manufacturers such as Tesla, which has no dealers, has fought numerous legal battles to sell its cars directly to its customers.
I ain't know that.
Other brands such as Rivian and Lucid have followed suit. Even Volkswagen's forthcoming Scout brand is opting for a direct sales approach. VW and
Scout,
Audi dealers
never heard
are
of it.
suing. Honda and Sony have partnered to make a new car called the Afeela. Same thing. They plan to sell
Ugly.
direct. Honda dealers are also suing.
Garbage.
The market is evolving pretty quickly, and I think that, we all need to be paying attention to how quickly the Carvanas and the Amazons of the world get traction, because there can be downstream implications of this.
I do believe the digital car selling thing is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I don't see dealerships probably ever going anywhere. Used, new, you can probably dig into the new sales, because a new car, like I said, is a new car. It's new, no miles. Yeah, I can buy it online and be comfortable. But a used car, you're going to always want to touch that. You're going to always want to put your hands on that. Nobody's trying to buy an old school car, like an old school, let's just say an old school, throw a car, an old school Camaro, fish head, 1982 Camaro or something like that. You're going to want to touch that car. You're going to want to see that car. You ain't just going to buy that off of the internet and think it's cool. You're going to want to drive it. You're going to make sure it feels good. You're going to drive that. Or let's just say a Hellcat. You ain't going to buy no Hellcat off the internet, a used Hellcat off the internet and be like, yeah, it's good. I know it's good. Yeah, I know it's good, man. I ain't even worried about it. Yeah, I'm just going to buy this Hellcat. It's got 42,000 miles on it. It had four owners. I don't need to test drive it. I'm good. I'm going to take your word for it, Amazon. That's not going to happen. So I just don't see anything. I don't see it being like a major threat to dealerships. I don't think they really got nothing to worry about. But I could be wrong. But in my opinion, I don't see them really causing that much of a ruckus. Now, if they can get all these rental car companies and rental truck companies to come together and sell on their site, you might have a problem then, because that way that they got everybody, all the companies all conjoined into one Amazon. They all selling their cars through Amazon. Now you got a problem, because they really taking some cars from y'all then. So, but I don't see that happening for a long time. And plus, if this deal don't work good with Hertz, I definitely don't see any other rental company working with Amazon if they don't go too good with this deal. But it's probably gonna go good. But them Hertz rental cars, all them rental cars and fleet cars is beat up, so ain't nobody really. Usually the people to get those, low credit. I used to have a low credit, so I ain't trying to knock you. So if you got low credit, don't get mad at me. What I'm just saying is, those are usually cars that the bottom of the, I ain't gonna say that's the wrong word to say. Those are usually cars that people with bad credit get, a base model, because most fleet cars is base model. So I don't think they got anything to worry about. But let me know what you think. Do you think Hertz and Amazon teaming up is going to be something great for the industry? It's going to save you some money. You definitely going to save some money. Us as the consumer, we going to save some money because we get to cut the middleman out. But are you risking buying a used car online, sight unseen, untouched, untest driven, jumping the Hellcat when they come off that truck, the whole bottom end fall out that bad boy? Come on, man. You talking about you order a Hellcat to come on the truck, you open up, pop the hood, it's got a 3.6 liter VVT motor in there. You think you bought a Hellcat, you got a Hellcat body with a V6 motor in there. So I don't know, man. They got to work out all the kinks. So I guess because I've seen dealerships. Oh man, they think they like some dealerships. I seen this one dealership. He said he bought he thought he bought a ZL1 1LE. He really just bought a regular ZL1 with a fake. It had the fake wing on the back. So whoever bought the car thought they was buying a real ZL1 1LE, but they really just bought a regular ZL1. So they overpaid for the car. And then he's like, I don't know how we gonna sell it. You're gonna have to take a loss on it. That's how you gonna sell it. You got to take a loss on it. But yeah, so it probably be a lot of those type of things happening with this new deal. But I guess we gonna see, man. Only time will tell. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. I told y'all we're gonna be bringing a lot more videos to the channel like this. You requested it. You want to see if T-Light got that knowledge. And you know I got the knowledge. Anybody that's been following me over the years, you know I got the knowledge. I just want to bring it to y'all because I just want y'all to make great deals and not be stuck in horrible deals. And I just want you to see what the market is offering, because we as the consumer, we do control the market. If we start making better purchases and start demanding more from these dealerships, show them that we can spend our money elsewhere, like this Amazon Hertz deal. We start buying a lot of cars there. These dealerships that get themselves in line and start selling these cars at a correct price, because they're going to have to compete with these Amazon Hertz type of deals. So it's a good thing for us. Don't ever think that it's a bad thing. It's a good thing for us when you put competition to these dealerships, because most of these dealerships think they got a monopoly on the game. They think just because they're your hometown dealer that you got to buy from them when you don't. So let me know in the comments, would you buy you a car from Hertz online from Amazon? Would you get you an Amazon car? Get you an Amazon car, they drop it out the sky in a package and land in your front yard. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I would, but to each his own. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I said like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all, man. I appreciate the love and support. Put those werewolves in the comments, man. I need to see those werewolves in the comments. Let me know you with the werewolf pack. I love y'all, man. We werewolves. We doing big things. Again, shout out to y'all. We just hit 33,000. I think we hit it like last week. We had 32,000. No, we had 33,200 and some supporters. Werewolf, we in the pack. So we got 33,000 werewolf pack members. I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed up and stay safe. Until the next time, listen here. Believe in yourself. I said, you better not be giving up on yourself. I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to stay focused. I need you to focus on your journey. Don't let nobody sway you off your journey, off your path. Great things gonna happen for you if you work hard. I never saw somebody that worked hard not achieve something in life. You may not get all your dreams, but you will achieve something if you're just willing to work hard. I love y'all. Please, please, please. Y'all stay blessed up. And if your mother and father are still here, give them a kiss and tell them that you love them. I myself, T-Light, my mother is not here no more. Lost her a couple years ago to cancer. So if your mom is still here, definitely give her a kiss and let her know you love her. I didn't really have a great father, so we cool now, but I didn't really have a great one. But I had a wonderful mother. And if you got a great father and a great mother, let them know how much you love them, because they won't be here forever. You their child. And 9 times out of 10, parents don't bury their children. Children bury parents. So make sure you let them know how much you love them. And y'all stay blessed up. I love y'all, man. Y'all caught me thinking about my mom, man. Peace out.